This video will show you how to connect the Sick Flexi Soft safety PLC to the Sick laser scanner, safety laser scanners. I will assume, as I will use the software that is the FlexiSoft Designer from Sick, I assume that you know how to use that. If not, you could go to the tutorials from Sick YouTube channel, and you have a very good tutorial FlexiSoft Designer in 10 parts. It's really very good and short. So I assume that you have that knowledge. Okay, what we have here? We have here two different laser scanners. I would like to show you both. This is the S300 and the S300 Mini. This one is based especially on an EFI port. It means that you could connect from this FlexiSoft safety PLC to the scanner using this EFI port, and all the details about these EFI ports are written at the back of the laser. So this is where the connector is shown, and all the connections basically are the EFI connector. And you have also some lights here. I will show you later. And this one, what I like from this one is especially that you could open it, and you have this sort of connector with all the detail of all the connections. So you could have the EFI A and B terminals, you see, and also something that I really like. Well, you have all the signals, specific lines for each signal, so okay, good, but also that you have the RS422, and through that line, serial line, industrial serial line, you could get the data from the lasers. So you could use that for maybe a SLAM system or something like that. About the safety PLC, you have here the positive and negative that should be also wired to this other module. This is the CPU1, so the main brain, and this is the module for inputs and outputs, the XDIO, safety inputs and outputs. Okay, so this ensures that you give power to that 24 volts, and this is the programming cable. Okay, so let's switch it on with 24 volts, and I will use this scanner so far. Okay, so as I mentioned, I will use the FlexiSoft designer software, that is this one, and the first thing that you do is to connect. Okay, connect to physical device. So you just connect to the physical device and then start connecting and getting all the information. You could do two things. One is whenever you connect, it will receive the program that is inside of the FlexiSoft, and you will, and the configuration, if anything is saved there. Okay, if not, you will have the opportunity to design your own safety PLC. As I have a program here saved, that's okay, it will take it. If and a configuration. If not, you would go here to project or open project, and you would just open the project and then save it in the safety PLC. Okay, so it's adding the different elements, and usually it takes a bit of time, not so much. Now it found that there is an EFI port here, and the laser scanner is connected to it. Okay, so yes, it asks if you want to upload the configuration on the Sick Flexi Soft, so it will take not only the main configuration of the system, but also the programs and everything. It's reading all the objects and so on. Okay, so far we have this, and we have different lights here, and LEDs, and also we have those LEDs here. Okay, so the good thing of this is that you could see everything working. Uh, the scanner is showing a P that is expecting to run the safety PLC. Okay, that is at this moment stop, but if I push there, it will start and start running. So being here, we could see the LEDs, but also we could see the different the configuration of the inputs and outputs. Here, for example, we configured a couple of inputs and 4 outputs of different types. We could just click on or just go over them, PNP output, and here this is just a lamp. Okay, and here we have the EFI port, and connected to the EFI port is the LiDAR, the laser scanner. We could change elements. Well, in order to do that, as it is connected, we need to go here and push this button here. Okay, so whenever we push that button, you see, I could change everything. Now you do not see the LEDs, and you could go to elements at the bottom here. So if you see the elements, you could put different elements. Everything about this is explained in the tutorials I mentioned. Okay, so output types, and I could have like motor contact, whatever PNP outputs, or whatever, or here in graphics, lamp. Okay, and it's just to take it, drag and drop to the different places wherever you want to go. Okay, so and here are the modules. If you want to add different modules to the system, you just drag and drop. Okay, being here, I push again here, and I am again connected to the system, and I see the LEDs. Okay, so now I want to see about the configuration of the LiDAR, of the scanner, laser scanner. So I right click on the mouse and go to open device window. This will open this, and you could use also the CDS software and connect this cable to this port instead of use the EFI port. But having the EFI port, you could configure everything through the EFI port. Okay, and next thing you could see if you have all the software of the laser scanner here. You could press field sets if you have your field sets. Okay, if you do not find anything, you would have to read the configuration from the device. So you would click here and you would read the configuration from the device. Okay, so after it finishes doing so, you could go to the field sets, for example, and you could configure here different field sets. A field set is composed, about protective field and warning fields. 1 or 2 warning fields you could use and put here the name, and you could say like, okay, I want to configure field set 1, so you select this or this other, you see, and you see how it changes. Yeah, when I push here, hopefully I would have to see the laser data. So sure that I have to activate it here, and then it comes to different state, and then I could come here and say open the device, go to the field sets, and now I could say okay, want this one, and see the laser data. Okay, I see that. I pushed here. Okay, it's activated. Okay, so for the zoom, I just click here and I select it. Okay, I could say I want to see the or modify the protective field, or I want to modify the warning field, 1 or 2. And how do I do that? Just clicking here. Oh, so sorry. I have to push this one. Okay, select, and then I could change it. You see? So you could change the field. And here you see this one, you see the full field. Okay. Okay. More things. Whenever you have everything configured here with the fields, okay, you could you have field 1 and field 2, for example, and you could read the manuals about how to create fields, but basically this one helps to create a rectangle around the area. Here you see in Cartesian coordinates and in polar coordinates. So if I shade it, I change it, I see the coordinates. And for example, this one, so if you go over them, reduce the contour, you could check the manual, okay, and everything is written there. Okay, so you have the field sets defined, and then you have to go to the cases. Cases, yeah, cases are in which conditions are you going to use one or other field. You could create different cases, and you could use here the input conditions. There are A, B, C, D, E, and you could activate as many as you want. This is activated in systems parameter. No, sorry, in inputs, and I only activated the A. Okay, CPU 1A, but I could activate more of them. So coming back to cases, you see that I have only this 1A active, but I could activate more. So in combination of them, I could have more cases, okay? So many cases as I add here additional additional input conditions, okay? It's like a binary combination. So for each of the cases, I have to change here the field set. You see, field set 1 or field set 2 are the two I have, and the multiple sampling. If this is a mobile application, at least you have to take 3 or 4 samplings. Okay, if it is a fixed application, then 2. Okay, so let's put 3. Okay, and obviously if you put many, then the response time goes higher. For what purpose you put many? For example, if you want to avoid detecting a fly or dust or things like that. Okay. So you have 2 cases. You see here, I could move it here, and whenever I change from case 1 to case 2, you see it is changing here. Okay, I will put also 3 multiple samplings, and here you could give a name to the case, whatever, going forward or forward long or whatever. Okay, this is important, this ABC we will see, because it's the way the safety PLC, the Flexi Soft, connect to the safety scanner and activate one or other fields, okay, field sets. So through these cases, when activating different values for these variables. So in this case, case 1 means variable A or input condition A is 0, and the field and case 2 is condition A is 1. Okay. You could go to simulation here, and change the inputs. So if you click on A and you give a different value, you go to this one. Okay, something important is to see this A1 and A2. Each input has two values, A1 and A2, so should be opposite. Okay, so A deactivated is A1 is 1, A2 is 0. A activated is A1 is 0, A2 is 1. Okay, so deactivated case 01 is A1 is 1 and A2 is 0. You will understand that later whenever I told you about the programming of the FlexiSoft. And let me see what other things I could show you. So you have these field sets, you have these cases, you have the inputs that you could activate, and you have the system parameters are just giving some names to the device and user and so on. And if the laser is going to be upside down, you have to put rotated 180, so it rotates the 7-segment display, that is this one, and it would rotate it so you see it properly. Okay, and the last thing is that you have here some diagnostics and also the data recorder, so you could see different information and record and so on about the inputs and so on. It's a kind of monitoring. You could use that. Okay, so let's keep that here, or let's minimize that so far and come back here. And here what we have is that we could start a system and stop the application with this button. Okay, the green button. You stopped it and it goes to P. Sometimes it's other number like 4, and is waiting for these A, B, C values, okay, proper values, and P is waiting for running it. So just click on that and it runs. And whenever it is running, you could see that it is working properly. Let me see. So at this moment is programmed in one of the field sets. So here is a warning. You see the light here. It's the warning. Warning, and if I'm coming further, it goes to the second one. Okay, it is going farther than warning. Okay, it's the safety part. Okay, so one thing I want to show you is about the logic editor. Logic editor is here. Okay, and here is the program. Let me go back again to hardware and I could stop it. And if I go to the logic editor now, you see this in blue. It means that you could not edit anything unless you push here. Okay, if you push here, it goes yellow, and then you could change whatever you want. Okay, so having it connected, it goes to blue again. And one important thing I want to show you about this program, just for you to know, is that I am using this input for activating one or other field. So I use this other destination jump address that I used to go somewhere else. Okay, and this is how the LiDAR, this is an EFI value that comes from the LiDAR about the protection field and about the warning field, if it is free or not. So I use that to activate some other variables. So basically, if I push this one here and I come here and I see the inputs, I could show you that from CPU 1 I have a 0 and a 1 that I could use wherever I want. From I/O I have these two inputs only because I only put symbols here. So these other are not active. I should put something here, otherwise they will not be active. And these are the inputs and also this, but there is nothing here. Okay? And outputs, I have these other four. So if I come back again to the logic editor, if I go to outputs here, I see all these four outputs. Okay? So coming back to inputs, I have in the S300, so through the EFI, all these inputs. This is the LED of the that shows the warnings and the dust and so on. There is an LED to detect if there is any dust here, or errors, or this protective field and warning field 1, warning field 2. So I could use all these inputs. And about outputs, what I have in the through the EFI are these inputs A1, A2, that means the A, okay, and B1, B2, C1, C2. Do you remember all those we saw before? So are all these A1, A2, B1, B2 at this moment is A1 off, A2 on, okay? So is the long field, let's say. Next things, here you have some other inputs about velocities and so on, and more inputs if you use them. But at this moment, as I activated only A, this is the only one I am going to use, and that one is the one I will direct through here. So FEA, if I right click on it, is used on, and I see the other pages where it is used. Okay, so and I could go to them outputs. Okay, so I changed to these outputs, and here is the one that this is the destination jump address. Okay, so what I do is just I activate one LED here in the Flexi Soft when one of the fields is compromised. Okay, so this is a normal system. Okay, so having said that, I will activate the system. Okay, first, because it is gray, you see, and I come here and I activate it, click. Okay, and now it is in green, so I activate the system. Okay, and here is something very important to show you. Okay, as I mentioned, if I go and compromise the warning field, it is one only line. Okay, this light, the Q3, goes on. I take out the hand, I put again the hand. This is the warning field. This is what the program does. If I go further to the protected field, okay, now I have these two lights, okay, and the protective field is compromised. Okay, the thing is that the program is done in a way that it waits on during several seconds. I think 2 seconds or 1 second. So I take it out, but it is still on, and after some time it goes off. You see, it goes off. Okay, one more thing I want to add is that you could force values in the inputs to test your program. For example, here, if you go to logic editor, you see all the values. Okay, you could see the I/O matrix, so what inputs affect the outputs and what are the status. Green is on. Okay, so in these inputs, this protective field is on. It means it is free. The protective field is free and the warning field is free. If I compromise one of the fields, it goes off, okay? You see. Okay. And due to this timer, when I compromise the protective field, it goes on, and when I take out the hand, you see, it is still on, and after some time, it goes off. In fact, it is 2 seconds. Okay. Okay, so let's imagine that I want to force a change in the fields set. So this changes through this one. So how do I do that? Not changing a cable or putting a cable or testing it using hardware. Okay, then I use this one. Okay, this one is start forcing mode. Okay, so basically if I left click on the value I want to force, I could just force high, and then it will affect this one. And affecting this one goes to outputs, and you see it means that the lamp at this Q1 is on, and it changed the A2 value and A1. Now this one is on and this one is off, and it's correct that the light here is on. So this is one of the fields. If I change it again, go back to inputs and remove force, then it goes off, or whatever value you add, and this Q1 is off, and now it changed. A1 is off and A2 is on. Okay, so the field set changed. And okay, you could just to tell you something, you could transfer or upload from the whatever you modified in the system, upload it to the PC, so this application, and then you could also save it to the computer, or you could load something and transfer that to the computer. Okay, just one last thing I want to tell you about the hardware configuration. Okay, it is running at this moment. I click here, and I click it again. Okay, green, run. And the thing is that what happened whenever I disconnect the system from here, switch everything off and switch everything on. What I would like is that the system runs with this program automatically, but it is not. It will start in stop mode. So how do I ensure that it starts in start mode? First, I have to remove this blinking thing. In order to remove this blinking thing, you see here says device configuration is not verified, and should be verified. So I click here, upload and verify configuration. I say okay. I could check it if I want. Yes. Okay. And it's no longer blinking. Okay. So I could just disconnect here. And as it is disconnected, I could just switch off this one, switch on it again, okay, still starting, okay, and there is no longer this P symbol or anything, it's just running. You see, everything is okay about the lights, and I could compromise the different fields and see the results. Okay, here the LEDs and so on. Okay, so that's all. Thank you so much.